hello, Homeboy Sandman. I go by Revue
What's
the
up?
Poet.
How's it
How are
going with
you?
you?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I'm honored to be able to interview you.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. No doubt. Looking out. I'm honored to be getting reviewed by you. Or interviewing,
Yeah,
pardon.
I operate a YouTube channel called The Spot for Hip Hop TV, and I wanted to interview for that as well. I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. I want to know, what was your very first rap that you were exposed to?
Oh, my first rap that I was exposed to. I'll probably say that would be my father telling me telling me when I did something wrong, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. He would say, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. You know, after Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, when I was very small, to warn me that I was heading the wrong direction.
Okay. That's an interesting story. That's really cool. That's cool.
Yeah, my father was into the old rap records. You know, he had all that old stuff. Had the Sugar Hill Gang vinyls and all that. So he would quote the early joints to me before I even knew what he was talking about.
So I take it that you after you said that, after a while you want to dig and find out where he gets that from, huh? And you find it in his records.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, time came along where I realized that was the Grandmaster Flash record. He was, you know, the message that he got that from. And I checked out his records afterwards, and, you know, people thought that he had and everything. But yeah, I get, you know, that's the first thing that comes to me is my first exposure. You know what I mean? Later on, my first real, you know, I remember, that was real exposure, but I had my older aunts, Lisa and Lily, were into rap heavy, and they was trying to put me on the DDP, and they was going to put me on the Big Daddy Kane and a couple of joints that was out in the mid '80s. But it wasn't until Jazzy Jeff, I'm the Fresh Prince, he's a DJ, I'm the rapper, that I really, you know, fell in love with the whole thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, those are all good records, all of them. Do you happen to have a favorite MC?
Growing up, I always, my favorite MC was Black Thought of the Roots Crew. You know what I mean? And definitely, I still say I think Black Thought is second to none. There's a couple of people that have joined Thought in my pantheon now. You know, Supervillain Doom, second to none. Aesop Rock, second to none. You know, I think there's a lot of guys who are, you know, fantastic. You know, Pharoah Monch, Lupe Fiasco, you know, Eminem, Big Pun, Redman. You know, there's a lot of people who are second to none. But Black Thought was always my favorite dude coming up.
Yeah, there's so many different artists out there now versus how it was back in the day. It's really kind of hard to nail down just one particular favorite.
Yeah. I like to just, you know, I wouldn't say I have a favorite anymore, because now, you know, there are all the people that I named, and, you know, people coming out all the time, you know, but most of the people coming out all the time, you know, it's easy for me to zero in on the people that I regard as particularly elite, but it's always cool to be introducing new ones too.
Okay. That's awesome. As an independent artist, what has rap taught you?
What's rap taught me? What has rap taught me? Rap has taught me a lot about myself. You know, I learn about myself from rhymes a lot. You know, the rhymes come to me. Sometimes I don't know what they mean at first. You know. But then later on, it's kind of revealed to me, you know. And if I decipher, you know, writing all the time, day after day, year after year, is very, you know, it reveals a lot about myself to me, you know, because the rhyme comes from inside, You know, a lot of it comes from intuition. A lot of it comes from the gut. You know, I think the intuition is a direct line, you know, to God. So, you know, I definitely have had God speak through me. You know what I mean? I had a record called Dusty that I didn't even understand what the record was about at all up until, you know, months after it was released. You know what I mean? Then it was, you know, all became clear to me, you know. So I would say, you know, my answer is rap teaches me about myself more than anything else. My rap does, you know.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. And I also wanted to know, you know, I know you moved around a lot, you know, and I was wondering, where's the best place you lived and where was the worst place you lived?
I mean, shoot, best and worst. I mean, I'm not good with worst questions. You know what I mean? I try to maintain a gratitude attitude. You know what I'm saying? So every place I've lived at, been at, you know, I was able to interact with interesting people and pick up interesting things. I mean, the best. I mean, I love where I live now. You know, in Brooklyn is real nice. I love my block, cool people. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I love where I grew up. You know what I mean? Growing up in Elmhurst, Queens was awesome. You know, it was great energy, great diversity, a lot of fun and everything. Shoot, I mean, I've been all over. I really shoot, man. I can tell you that places where you need a car, I don't love as much. You know what I mean? Because I like bicycling and I like walking. So places you need a car, and whenever I go there, I want to sit in the car half the day. You know what I mean? And I need a car to go from one place to another constantly. Those resonate a little bit less, you know, with me. But those, you know, just logistically, you know, there's still great people from those places. But I like being able to walk around, and I like being able to bike around, and so you know, places that are super duper spread out with all the highways and everything's about cars. I prefer, you know, tighter density, you know.
I understand, yeah.
If I'm in an urban place, because I love, that's if I'm in an urban area, because I love rural, you know, I love nature too, you know, I love being out in nature a great deal as well. So obviously if I'm out there, you know, it's a different, I don't mind if I got to, you know, drive to the market to get something. It's different mindset.
Right, I understand. Yeah, it seems like things that are areas that are more close together, you get a whole lot of flavor in them. You know, there's a lot of diversity, lots of different things to see and do, all in a little concentrated area. And I find those areas a lot better than those that are really sprawled out.
Where are you from?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. Yo, I'm going to be in St. Louis. But my show is unannounced. Yeah, hold on. I'll tell you when it is, but it's not announced yet. It's going to get announced later this month. But I could tell you so you can say the date, but you can't put this in the interview. But I'm going to be in September. I'm going to be at a place called Old Rock House. You know the place? Called Old Rock House on September 9th.
Okay.
Save the day, reality. Tell people to come through, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you can put it in the interview if you want, you know what I'm saying? Spread the word. Okay. Old Rock House, St. Louis, come through September 9th.
I'm checking in to see how things are going.
It's going terrible.
The Old Rock House, down on the landing.
What's that?
The Old Rock House down on the landing.
Yeah, I'm going to be there September 9th. Come through. Tell everybody you know to come
definitely,
through. It's not announced yet, but it's going to get announced later this month.
Okay, we'll come down and do some video and some photos.
Yeah, do that. But aside from that, this has been the worst interview I've ever done. It's terrible. Now, I'm only kidding. Everything's going great.
Why you scare me like that?
Okay, you guys, I'm out.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Back to the music. Now, what was your very first rap about?
My very first rap, I had a rap when I was a kid called I'm Hype. Can't really remember it, but it was about me being hype. So it was pretty much braggadocio, you know, conventional, how cool I am rap, you know. That was, I think that was my first rap, you know, so where I wrote out the whole verse, or at least, it was at least one verse. Because I'm Angel and I'm hype. That was part of it.
Okay, that's cool. So about what age was that?
That was early. I mean, probably, you know, pre-teens or something, or 12 or 13, maybe 13 or 12 or 11. In that, you know, early double-digit years.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, it's about the time I started doing that myself.
You as well?
Yeah, I do. I do spoken word poetry and rap.
Oh, okay. Well, because, yeah, I know you used to use Revue the Poet, but, you know, obviously they go hand in hand oftentimes.
Yeah, they do. They do. Something out of the ordinary. I don't think anybody's ever asked you this. Are you a cat or a dog person, and why?
Well, to be honest, I never really had no pets. My girlfriend, she doesn't even have a dog, but her sister has a dog that she is crazy about. Like, she loves this dog. The whole family, like, this dog is like the king of the family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, it's kind of fascinating. And that's a cool dog. Santi is his name. You know, I like Santi. He's cool. I don't know if I'm a dog or a cat person, even though I like Santi a lot, because I do have a neighbor on the second floor that sometimes asks me to feed his cat when he leaves, because he can't even move about freely because he got to look after this cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't know if I'm a cat or a dog person because, you know, I don't want to have to think about, you know, who the heck is going to feed my pet if I leave my house. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed too constricted for me. You know what I mean? But I'm very, I mean, I guess, you know, for that reason, you know, but my girlfriend is moving in with me soon, and she wants to get a dog. We'll get one. So I guess I may be a dog person, perhaps. Time will tell.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. And outside of hip hop, do you have any musical influences?
Yeah. Great deal. I think I would even go as far as to say that you know, my outside of hip hop musical influences are every bit as prominent and every bit as have played as big a role in my hip hop as my in hip hop influences. And you know, I love jazz music. I love soul music. I mean, Stevie Wonder is my favorite artist of all time. Earlier today, I was listening to Depeche Mode. You know, I love '80s pop, but I love I love all types of stuff. Earlier today, I was listening to some I guess some Asian. I love global music. I love world music. You know, I love reggae. You know, ska. You know, I love all types of joints. I love classical, and I love a lot of joints. You know, some calypso joints. I mean, I love joints. I love Spanish music for sure. You know, I love salsa. I love merengue. I love bachata. I love fly jams of various genres, and when I'm listening to music, I listen to hip hop sometimes, but just as much I'm listening to, you know, something else.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. See, one thing about hip hop is it kind of forces you. I don't want to say force. That's a bad word. It leads you into different music genres because if you're listening to a bunch of sample-based beats and you're like, who is that? What is that? Where does it come from? And you dig, and then you find out who it is, and you're like, wow. You listen to the record, and boom.
Yeah, it's a great gateway. Like they say, marijuana is a gateway drug. Hip hop is a gateway genre.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And also, I got one last question. Like, what exactly led you to start rapping in the first place?
Like I said, as a child, there was, hip hop, just prevalence, and just that I would come across just in my environment and in the people I would interact with. When I went to high school outside of New York, a place called the Holderness School. It was in Plymouth, New Hampshire. At that time, I felt very fish out of watery, and I kind of disappeared. My solace was my music. So I developed a bond with music at that time that has stayed strong throughout my entire life. And I feel like at that time, as my brain was congealing and all that, I really come to love hip hop music, and I really come to, start to be fascinated with, creativity and associated with it. And after that, that's one day I realized it's what I love doing, you know what I mean? And what I had to, I believe God, I believe, I'm very grateful to God for, I believe God is my creativity comes from God. So, I'm very happy with my assignment.
That's good. Well, is there anything you want to leave? Any notes you want to leave for the people who will be checking this interview out?
Shoot, man. So this is a St. Louis-based website?
Yes, it is.
All right, so definitely come through September 9th to that spot. What did I say it was called? I can't remember because I closed it. Do you remember?
It was Old Rock. Let's see. Old Rock. I can't remember. It was like something Rock.
Let's see. Hold on, because this is important. Old Rock House.
Yeah, Old Rock House, yeah.
Everybody in St. Louis, come to Old Rock House, September 9th. All right? Beyond that, peace and love. Love is the answer. And, yeah, I mean, that's it. I guess I got a new, on my shouts to Mellow Music Group. They will been releasing my recent records, you know what I mean? Gonna release my upcoming records. But on the Homeboy Sandman YouTube, which is the individual Homeboy Sandman YouTube, I've been doing a Slice of Life series lately. Just dropped the second one earlier this week, which is just a visual of me doing something, kind of very day to day with a new jam. So, yeah, I guess I would also say to folks, to check out the Homeboy Sandman YouTube for some Homeboy Sandman stuff that, they may not be up on. Obviously, when I put stuff out with Mellow Music or,
right.
Rom Sayers puts out the stuff that I do with Aesop, the light stuff, and, that gets a certain degree of attention, and Mellow Music gets a degree. When I put out records with Stones Throw, get a certain degree of attention. But, and big shout to all three of those labels. And it really is very much an honor to be, in allegiance with the three of them in alliance. But I also got some stuff that ain't even tied into them going on that I think flies under the radar sometimes. So if you want to get up on that, check out the Homeboy Sandman YouTube.
Okay, we'll do. I'll definitely do that.
Hey?
All right, well, thank you so much for the interview. It's been a real pleasure. I can't wait to
absolutely
see what you come up with next.
Yeah, no doubt. Pleasure's all mine. Keep up the, with the poetry that you got popping and everything. Why don't you send me one of your poems? Can I see a poem? Can you email it to me at Homeboy Sandman?